Every year at their Worldwide Developer Conference, Apple gives us a preview of what they're going to be doing with software over the next year. And this year, we're getting a completely redesigned, brand new Apple Home app for managing your smart home. My name's Eric Welander. Welcome to my channel all about creating an effective Apple smart home. And as an app developer, I have access to the betas, so I've already installed the new Home app. So I want to show it to you and then give you some ideas about ways you can prepare your smart home to make the most of this new Home app when it comes out, whether you're thinking of installing the public betas later this summer or doing what I recommend and just wait for the release version to come this fall. So when you first open the new Apple Home app, one of the things you see right at the top is a nice grid view of your cameras. So this could mean over the summer you might want to think about getting more cameras that work with, let's say, Apple's HomeKit Secure Video, or show a live view of the video feed in the Home app. I really like Arlo's cameras for this because they work with Apple's Home app, but then you get even more customization beyond HomeKit Secure Video for controlling how they record videos. The downside there is that you do have to pay a monthly service fee because their recording is managed in a cloud service. And then if you have other types of video cameras, you might want to look at something like Hoobs or Homebridge or Scripted or other ways to get things like Ring video cameras or Unify Protect video cameras into your Home app. And that way you'll have all of these cameras there for the grid view when you update to the new version. But there's one layer here to think about as well, which is that every time you open the new Home app and see these cameras, it's going and fetching a live view from that camera, which is nice to be able to see it. But if it's a battery operated camera, it's using a little bit of the battery each time it does that. So if you're using battery operated cameras, you might want to think about adding something like a solar panel to them to keep them charged, or think about ways you could run wiring to them or change them out for cameras that have more continuous power. So just something to think about as far as weekend projects over the summer. Making your cameras wired could be a huge advantage. And again, not something that's as easy to do just overnight. Now, if none of that's really going to work out and you just don't want to see the camera that often, you can hide cameras from appearing in this main grid view, and then you'll just see them in the page specific to that room in the Home app. And that leads me to the main Home view, and that's just a scrolling list of your cameras, then your favorite accessories, and then all of the different rooms in your home. And so you can quickly get to all of the different accessories across your home and browse them. And then for quick access, your favorites are right there at the top. So keeping your favorites pruned to just what you really want to be a favorite is a thing you can do today in the current release version of the Home app, and then that will carry over as you upgrade to the new version of the Home app. And then in the new version, you can also customize the sizes of any of these tiles, which can be nice to just adjust the layout to what you want. And then from there, that layout will sync across all of your different Apple devices using the Home app. Now, the next area you might want to focus on this summer is climate, because it's a place in your smart home that you can save a lot of money and increase just getting the right temperature at the right time in your home, which can just help your comfort. But it's also an area Apple's put a lot of emphasis on in this new Home app. It's the first tab by default up here at the top, where you have these different new filters to quickly focus on a particular part of your smart home. So, of course, adding a smart thermostat that works with Apple HomeKit, or getting your existing thermostat into Apple HomeKit, is something you can do today. I've heard a lot of people having great experience with Ecobee thermostats. I personally use a Nest thermostat because the one I use doesn't require a C-wire at the thermostat terminal. And then I integrate that with HomeKit via a Starling Home Hub, which is a $100 integration. Now, theoretically, I won't need that once Matter comes later this year, but I'll believe it when I see it. And so maybe if you want to get your thermostat from Nest into Apple HomeKit today, you might consider looking at a Starling Home Hub. Beyond that, Apple categorizes things like smart shades as climate control, and those come right in here. So if you're thinking of making some shades in your house smart, that might be something to look at. I have some smart shades from Lutron Serena Shades that are extremely high quality, and I did a review on those last year. Eve also has their motion blinds product, and IKEA has some smart roller shades. So there are different levels of options you can look at for smart shades, but that could also be another great weekend project over the summer to set you up for having shades easily accessible in the new Apple Home app this fall. Beyond that, there's also controls for smart fans. Now, this could be something like the Lutron Caseta fan control, which I've installed on a number of my ceiling fans in my home. And then it could also be something like a smart plug that you tell HomeKit that the smart plug's controlling a fan. And then that fan can be turned on and off to help adjust the temperature. Now, if you want to know the temperature in a room, there's accessories like the Eve Room, which are really good temperature, air quality, and humidity sensors. You can also get temperature sensors that are much cheaper. One of the things, though, that you might sacrifice there is the accuracy of the temperature sensor. So just something to consider. And back to the smart thermostat, if you're looking at upgrading your smart thermostat, look at ones that also come with or support external temperature sensors that integrate with the thermostat, because that will, if the thermostat integrates with HomeKit, hopefully those temperature sensors will also show up in HomeKit like they do with, let's say, Ecobee or Nest, where I have it with Starling. And then you have multiple levels of customization where you can set your thermostat to heat and cool your home based off of a particular temperature sensor that's away from the thermostat. And then beyond that, you get that temperature data inside of Apple's Home app in this climate page for quick reference. And beyond this with climate, one of the things that Apple's adding with iOS 16 on iPhone are lock screen widgets. So you can quickly get access to information about all kinds of things, including your smart home right there on the lock screen. And there are a couple different accessories that play really nicely into this. One is temperature and air quality monitors. If you want to see what the temperature or air quality is for a particular sensor, you can have that on your lock screen, as well as you can see the status of certain security items. Like if you have a security system integrated with HomeKit or a smart lock integrated with HomeKit, that also is visible on the lock screen. And that leads me to another tab here in the Home app, which is the security tab. So that gives me a view of the different potential security systems that I have and locks. So if you get an Aqara hub, those appear in HomeKit as a security system. So you might see those if you're using the Aqara range of sensors and hubs. And you can use that as a full-blown security system. It just doesn't have the professional monitoring and other things that you might want with something that's a real deal security system. So I use Ring, and I have that integrated into HomeKit with HomeBridge. So another place where if you have a Ring security system, maybe you want to consider looking into Hoobs, which I'll leave a link for in the description. That's sort of a pre-set-up version of HomeBridge, and then you can connect that to HomeKit, do that over the summer, and then when the new version of the Home app comes out in the fall, you have a security system ready to go with all of the new features. Same thing with a smart lock. I recently installed the Schlage & Cope Plus, which supports Apple Home Key, which is a really cool feature. You can just unlock your front door with your watch, and that works in iOS 15 today. You don't need any kind of special betas, but then it's another accessory that I see right here in the security tab in the new Home app, and it's like I previously mentioned in this video, you can see that on your lock screen as a quick status of, is the front door locked? Which might be a question as you're leaving your home. Now, there's a tab here that we skipped over that's pretty important, which is smart lighting. So you can tap on the smart lighting filter and it will then go ahead and just show you all of your smart lights around your home. Now, this isn't really going to play into any new features of the new Apple Home app, but adding smart lighting to your home, and especially in a complete area of your home, making all of that smart makes a huge difference. So my one quick tip for if you're getting into smart lighting in your home is to focus on one room or a couple of rooms and make those completely smart before moving on to the rest of your house. Because if you just have a handful of lights around your home that are smart and then a bunch that are not, it can just get things confusing and you're not really getting the full advantage of smart lighting. Let's say you're leaving your home and then you can quickly check the lock screen widget to see how many lights are on in your home with that. Now, with the current version of the beta, it takes a minute or two to actually refresh to show you accurately how many lights are on in your home, especially on the widget. But I imagine those kind of performance issues will get worked out over the summer. But still, I think smart lighting is always a great place to invest in your smart home. Now, one other cool feature you get in the new Home app, and this really applies here with smart lighting, is you can long press on the smart lighting tab, and then you'll see a bunch of suggested scenes that you have that control the lights in your home, as well as a button to quickly turn all the lights off. Previously, you've needed to do something like maintain a good night scene. You might still want to do that if you want certain lights to stay on overnight. But then if you just want to turn all the lights off, you have a quick way to do that that's maintained by the Home app, so you don't need to worry about keeping a scene around to do that. So that's a really cool benefit. And there are like a few different ways to do that in the current Home app today, but I like how Apple has made it much easier with this new filter here. And that leads me to AirPlay speakers, which is something I love and use all the time in my home. I also love and use Sonos for multi-room audio, and getting, whether it's HomePod minis or Sonos speakers that support AirPlay 2, you can really set up a lot of nice places to play music in your home that all sync together and work with something like Apple Music. So I've recently made some more videos about that, and I'm definitely making more on them. And I love how Apple has made a dedicated filter for seeing all of these across your home very quickly, which can be nice if you have a larger smart home with a lot of accessories. Now let me know in the comments below what features you're really excited about with Apple's new Home app. I've only been playing with it as of recording this for about 4 days, so it's still new to me, so maybe I missed some details of features. And if you're curious about Matter, I recently made a video talking about some of the details of that, and Google talking about their role in Matter, so that should be linked somewhere here on the screen. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.